He is known for his extensive commentaries on Aristotle, which reawakened Western European interest in Greek thinkers. He is recognized for defending the pursuit of philosophy in Islam and arguing for allegorical interpretation of scriptural text. He is Averroes, an Andalusian polymath and jurist known as the commentator and father of rationalism. In the rich intellectual tapestry of medieval Islamic scholarship, one name shines brightly: Averroes. Born in Andalusia, modern-day Spain, Averroes was a true polymath, delving into multiple fields such as philosophy, medicine, astronomy, and law. His thirst for knowledge knew no bounds, and he penned over 100 books and treatises in his lifetime. Averroes was deeply influenced by the philosophy of Aristotle and dedicated himself to restoring what he believed were Aristotle's original teachings. He vehemently opposed the Neoplatonist tendencies of his Muslim predecessors and defended the pursuit of philosophy against the criticism of Ash'ari theologians. In fact, Averroes held the belief that philosophy was not only permissible but even compulsory for certain elites within Islam. Furthermore, Averroes championed the idea that scriptural texts should be interpreted allegorically if they seemed to contradict conclusions reached by reason and philosophy. His interpretation reconciled faith and reason, inspiring a new approach to understanding Islamic teachings. His impact extended far beyond the realm of philosophy. Averroes made significant contributions to fields such as medicine, proposing a new theory of stroke and describing the signs and symptoms of Parkinson's disease. His medical book, Al-Kulliyat fi al-Tib, became a widely used textbook in Europe for centuries, further cementing his influence on medical scholarship. Averroes' legacy was not just confined to the Islamic world. In the West, his extensive commentaries on Aristotle were translated into Latin and Hebrew, rekindling interest in Greek thinkers. This sparked a philosophical movement known as Averroism, which not only generated controversies within Latin Christendom but also attracted followers well into the 16th century. Despite facing condemnation from the Catholic Church and criticism from thinkers like Thomas Aquinas, Averroes' ideas continued to shape intellectual discourse and challenge the boundaries of knowledge. His pioneering concept of the unity of intellect, asserting that all humans share the same intellect, remains one of the most controversial doctrines associated with his name. Averroes, the commentator and father of rationalism, proved that philosophy was not just compatible with Islam but essential for unlocking the secrets of the universe. His legacy lives on, inspiring generations of scholars and paving the way for a harmonious fusion of faith and reason. Averroes, often known as Ibn Rushd, was born into a prominent family in Córdoba on April 14, 1126. His family had a strong presence in the city, particularly in the fields of law and religion. Averroes' grandfather, Abu al-Walid Muhammad, held the esteemed position of chief judge and imam of the Great Mosque of Córdoba. While not as renowned as his grandfather, Averroes' father, Abu al-Qasim Ahmad, also served as a chief judge until the Almoravids were replaced by the Almohads in 1146. Averroes received an excellent education, as described by his traditional biographers. His studies included hadith, fiqh, Islamic jurisprudence, medicine, and theology. Under the guidance of scholars like Al-Hafiz Abu Muhammad ibn Rizq and Ibn Bashkul, Averroes delved into the intricacies of Maliki jurisprudence and hadith. His father also played a role in his education, teaching him about jurisprudence, with a focus on Imam Malik's Muwatta, which Averroes memorized. Additionally, Averroes studied medicine with the esteemed Abu Ja'far Jerim al-Tajayl, who likely introduced him to philosophy. He also familiarized himself with the works of philosopher Ibn Bajjah, maybe even having personal contact or being tutored by him. Averroes engaged in intellectual gatherings in Seville, where he interacted with philosophers, physicians, and poets such as Ibn Tufayl, Ibn Zur, and the future Caliph Abu Yusuf Yaqub. Furthermore, he explored the Kalam theology of the Ash'ari school, although he would later critique it. Ibn al-Abar, a biographer from the 13th century, noted Averroes' greater interest in studying law and its principles over hadith. Averroes, proficient in the field of Khalaf, also showcased a fascination with the sciences of the ancient Greeks, including their philosophy and sciences. Averroes' thirst for knowledge and his multifaceted education laid the groundwork for his later achievements. His deep understanding of various disciplines, coupled with his critical thinking, had a profound impact on Islamic philosophy and beyond. Averroes' philosophy and teachings continue to offer valuable insights into the nature of knowledge, ethics, and the interplay between reason and faith. As we navigate the complexities of daily life, Averroes reminds us of the importance of open-mindedness, rigorous inquiry, and a willingness to explore diverse perspectives. "My life will recur in exactly identical fashion," Nietzsche famously proclaimed. Similarly, Averroes' intellectual journey serves as a testament to the enduring significance of his philosophy. By embracing his legacy, we can engage with the philosophical and moral dilemmas of our time and strive to create a more inclusive and enlightened society. Averroes, a prominent philosopher, found himself in Marrakesh in 1153, eager to delve into astronomical observations and support the Almohad Caliphate's initiative to build new colleges. Although his attempts to uncover physical laws of astronomical movements fell short, his time in Marrakesh presented him with the chance to meet Ibn Tufayl, a distinguished philosopher and court physician. Surprisingly, despite their differing philosophies, Averroes and Ibn Tufayl quickly forged a deep friendship based on their mutual love for intellectual pursuits. In 1169, Averroes had a fateful encounter with Almohad Caliph Abu Yaqub Yusuf, thanks to Ibn Tufayl's introduction. The caliph posed a controversial question, pondering whether the heavens had existed for eternity or had a beginning. Aware of the potential dangers of providing an incorrect answer, Averroes chose to remain silent. However, Abu Yaqub proceeded to discuss the views of Plato, Aristotle, and other Muslim philosophers on the subject with Ibn Tufayl. This discussion put Averroes at ease, prompting him to share his own unique perspective on the matter, which greatly impressed the caliph. Averroes, in turn, came to admire Abu Yaqub's immense knowledge, expressing his astonishment at the caliph's intellectual depths. Following their introduction, Averroes experienced unwavering support from Abu Yaqub until the caliph's demise in 1184. During this period, the caliph expressed his struggles in comprehending Aristotle's work to Ibn Tufayl, who suggested that Averroes take on the task of explaining it. This marked the beginning of Averroes's extensive commentaries on Aristotle, with his first works in this area being written in 1169. Simultaneously, Averroes held the prestigious position of a qadi, a judge responsible for making legal decisions and issuing fatwas, based on Islamic law. Despite his numerous obligations and travels throughout the Almohad Empire, Averroes managed to maintain a prolific writing rate. He even took advantage of his journeys to conduct astronomical research. Many of his works from 1169 to 1179 bear the date of Seville, where he was appointed as a qadi. In 1182, Averroes succeeded his friend Ibn Tufayl as the court physician and later became the chief qadi of Córdoba, the very office his grandfather had once occupied. Sadly, Averroes's fortunes took a turn for the worse following the death of Caliph Abu Yaqub in 1184, when Abu Yusuf Yaqub came into power. Despite initially enjoying the caliph's favor, Averroes found himself facing various accusations that led to his trial by a tribunal in Córdoba. The tribunal condemned his teachings, resulted in the burning of his works, and banished Averroes to nearby Lucena. Early accounts attribute his fall from grace to a possible insult to the caliph in his writings, but modern scholars suggest political motivations. The caliph distanced himself from Averroes to secure the support of Orthodox ulama, who opposed Averroes, for his war against Christian kingdoms. After spending some years in exile, Averroes eventually returned to the court in Marrakesh and regained the caliph's favor. However, his time was cut short, and he passed away on December 11, 1198. Initially buried in North Africa, his body was later moved to Córdoba for a second funeral, where the future Sufi mystic and philosopher, Ibn Arabi, was in attendance. Averroes, also known as Ibn Rushd, was a prominent philosopher during the Islamic Golden Age. His full, transliterated Arabic name was Abu al-Walid Muhammad ibn Ahmad ibn Rushd. This name has been adapted and transformed over time in different languages. In the medieval Latin form, he came to be known as Averroes, derived from the Spanish pronunciation of his original Arabic name. Throughout history, various European languages have used different versions of his name, such as Ibn Rostin, Filius Rosadis, Ibn Ruzid, Ben Raxid, and many more. It is fascinating to see how his name evolved and took on different forms in different cultures, revealing the influence and reach of his ideas. Averroes' nickname, Al-Hafid, was often appended to his name to distinguish him from his grandfather, a renowned judge and jurist. Despite the different variations of his name, Averroes' philosophical contributions have remained profound and enduring.
Do you want to explore more philosophers? Who do you want to see featured next? Subscribe and leave a comment below to let me know. I'll see you in the next video.